welcome back to another episode of Travel Talk, where we bring you the latest and greatest all about travel, transformation, and the latest travel news. And today's guest, I'm super thrilled to have because this is real time. And I'm talking within 48 hours ago. She wasn't sure if she was coming back to Canada. So let's preface this. She is a Canadian citizen. She traveled down to Mexico for a team trip that she won as part of her company incentive. And well, today, Leanne, I'd like to welcome you to the show. Thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thanks, Melissa. I'm really excited to be here. I'm sorry we couldn't do it on my travel day home, but it was a little chaotic getting here.
Yeah, I saw that. And today, your luggage just finally arrived.
Oh, there's so many staff shortages through all the airports. So if you're going to travel, be prepared for some little hiccups along the way.
Mm-hmm. So without further ado, how about we get into share your story? You know, you went out New Year's Eve, you had a wonderful time. Like, just take it away. Share with our listeners your experience from start to finish.
All right. Well, I would love to share. And I did. I earned a trip with my health and wellness company. It's the second year in a row I did this, both years being through what we're going through right now. I was able to get home there and home last year with not any issues. I was super healthy. This year, it was a little bit chaotic. I'm not going to lie. So to get into an airplane right now, you need to take an antigen test. So just so if you guys don't know what that is, an antigen test is just a little Q-tip, 5 in each nose, just very shallow. And I woke up Christmas Day with a little bit of a funny cough and a funny throat, but I actually thought it was my cardio workout that I did at a gym the day before, and then spending 45 minutes outside waiting for the Santa Claus parade to come. So I just kind of chalked it up to that. But deep down in my pit, I'm like, oh man, I wonder if I'm going to even get to go on my trip, because I feel like this is a weird sensation that I'm having. Anyways, I got the test back. It was negative. So I pack and get ready to go. And I get to Mexico and it's all fine. People don't even look at the antigen test. Mexico, they don't require it to get into the country. So I was there and going along, and I went early. I left to Mexico the 27th with one of my best friends, and we stayed at a different resort for about 3-4 days. And I was like coughing up lungs all night. And Kelly, she's like, are you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, just a little cough. I'm just at the tail end of something, right? And then we moved to our other resort on the 30th. And I didn't really notice. And this is like, I had a margarita and they rim it with sugar or salt. And I said to Kelly, I'm like, I don't know if this is being rimmed with sugar or salt. And I just chuckled because I haven't really drank lately. So I'm like, it must be the tequila. It must be, I'm not used to putting salt in my mouth. So I'm like, it just must be that. And then
like, meaning you couldn't decipher the taste? Like, yeah, the taste was just not there?
There was no taste. Yeah. But I didn't even think anything. Like, I don't ever think about COVID. So it's not something I forgot actually that a symptom was no taste, no smell. So I just carry on and we're doing our thing, and we have like our arrival day and we have all these beautiful people showing up, and we're having a big welcome meeting, and everybody's there, and we're all just living our best life and hugging each other and happy to see each other. And it's wonderful. To get back to Canada, you need to do a PCR test. And that's way up the nose where they hit your brain sort of thing. So we had to do that on the 31st of December. So last day of the month. So we went out on our catamaran trip, and I go snorkeling and I go have all the fun and, looking at the fish, and get back that afternoon and we go and do the PCR test. And I was like, oh, like I was so cold after my catamaran trip. And I thought, maybe it was just because I was in the ocean, but I was in the ocean the whole week and I wasn't chilled. So I had this chill. Could have been a fever, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I go take the test, and it took 2 days for it to come back, 2 whole days. So 48 hours. I wake up the day I'm supposed to come home to email in Spanish that I have COVID. And I was just like, what? Yeah. So I'm supposed to leave that afternoon. And
what was like running through your head in that moment where it was like, OMG, I'm positive?
Well, my best friend's negative, and I was just like, I woke her up to like 8 a.m. I'm like, Kelly, I got COVID, and she's like, what? And we both were just like, oh my God, and everything goes through your head. It's like, what's going to happen? Because Melissa, I didn't even look at the rules for what if you get COVID in Mexico. I didn't even look at that because I don't ever prepare myself for worst case scenario. It's just not who I am. Like, so I was just like, oh my gosh. And then so we have people in charge of our trips who take care of all the backlogs and everything and just kind of organize us. So I let them know, I'm like, I have COVID. And they're all like, oh, okay, well, just wait. The hotel's going to contact you. Oh, and I should kind of backtrack a little bit. Right before we got to Cabo, our whole entire word of Viseo group chat, and people started backing out of this trip, and people started to really panic and do the what ifs. What if we get COVID? What if this? What if that? So Viseo worked with the hotel, and we all got some insurance. And it was wonderful insurance. So anyways, so fast forward back to me finding out I had COVID. I just had to wait. They're like, well, just wait in your hotel room because you're going to get escorted to another room, the COVID quarantine area. So I was like, okay. So anyways, I pack up all my stuff and I get dressed, and I had this feeling over me like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, it was so surreal. I didn't even think it was real. My best friend's packing up her stuff because she's heading back to Canada all by herself, like traveling. And which is fine. Like, we put on our big girl panties for the remainder of the trip. But it took till 4 o'clock almost that afternoon for them to move me. So that day, like, I was down because I packed everything and you never know. So I had a dress on. So I go down and I'm sitting, like, I have a private patio. So I start sun tanning, like in my underwear and bra. Like, nobody's around, whatever. I got time to kill. And so finally, I say goodbye to Kelly because she needs to go, and people show up to get me and take me to my room. And I felt like I was doing the walk of shame because I'm like, I have all my bags and I packed terribly. So I have stuff everywhere. I'm like, I can't carry this all myself. So they helped me because they really weren't that, like, the workers weren't that concerned. So we just start walking down, and I have to take an elevator by myself. And then I meet them at the bottom and they tell me where to walk. And it's seriously, you go right through the resort with your everything and a mask on. And I don't wear a mask. So I had this mask on and I'm walking the walk of shame. And I got into my room and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so cold. And it just hit me. And then I realized I did have a fever. I got in touch with Gilbert, or everybody knew what was going on. And Viseo was great. Everybody you're with, there was about 10 of us that tested positive before they went home. And yeah, they did care packages. So we have like amazing products, and I got this wonderful care package from everybody. And I just set up and I just, chilled out, I guess, for a few days. And at first, like, people were starting to panic, and I just get this weird, uncontrollable laughter because I'm just like, okay. And Gilbert showed up. He's like, just relax. Like, you're obviously meant just to chill out, and, you're always on the go. Take this as a time just to relax. And, I was like, okay. And people just started sending me, like, I have one of my other best friends, Darla. She's great at researching. So I let her know I wasn't coming home. And I'm like, what are the rules? Like, where do I find this information? And within minutes, she sent me, once you have a PCR positive test, you cannot enter Canada for 14 days or get a negative PCR test. So I was like, okay. And then the CDC had a regulation, but after 5 days, you do your quarantine and then you can be free, so to speak. And so I was like, okay, I could do 5 days. Like, I had a little deck and a little patio. So I had this little daily routine of, 8:30 to 1, I'd suntan. And then I would like do whatever because I had a little bit of sun, and vitamin D is the most important thing. And Gilbert showed up to my room and he's like, Leanne, do you have taste and smell? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was in overwhelm. And so he brought me some products. So I have this product called Eternal Active, and it's very potent and it's very zesty and it has a distinct smell. I couldn't smell it. I couldn't taste it. So I just start taking all these flavorful things, couldn't taste a thing. And I was like, I have no taste and smell. So yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, there's a few key things that I want to highlight here. Number one, I believe there is nothing to fear. Most of the people who are testing positive, I mean, that natural instinct is to think, oh, holy crap, like what do I do? I'm stuck. I don't know where to turn or what to do. But the most important thing you can do is number one, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid and relax. Like just relax. And then the second thing I want to bring up for our listeners is the importance of insurance. It is a non-negotiable, especially in this travel landscape right now. I mean, what would have happened if you didn't have the insurance?
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess there is an option. I could have went and got an Airbnb somewhere, right? And just quarantined by myself in an Airbnb. That is allowed. But once you step off that resort, I had insurance. But if I had no insurance, you have no medical then. You have no room coverage. You have no food, right? So I was 100% covered for the duration of my stay. There was a doctor on site that we could call, and he was checking in. Yeah, but don't expect them to contact you right away. You're in quarantine, so really for 5 days, nobody's going to talk to you. But we had room service, so all the meals, you get to choose very healthy foods. Make sure you stay hydrated. But yeah, with no insurance, it would have been a different scenario, I think. Once I realized 100% was paid for, I had no fear. It's just a matter of time until when I get home. And to be honest, the hotel, because I'm Canadian, had me booked into January 16th. So they were like, you're leaving early. They were a little bit sad to see me go. But just, yeah, with the insurance, so my trip, I should have been home January 2nd. So with the insurance, it would have covered me for a whole other 12 days, 100%.
Yeah, and that's something to really keep in mind. I mean, here you are, you're living, you're breathing, you're still alive, and you survived COVID, especially getting it on vacation. And so, if you could leave any parting words with people who are thinking about traveling or taking a trip, what would your words of wisdom or advice be to these future travelers?
Well, before I give that, I just want to let people know in Mexico, their quarantine time, they don't follow the CDC. There's no guidelines. So that Mexican quarantine is 14 days. So just keep that in mind when you're going for insurance, and insurance is a must to travel. And make sure as well that you get all the things you need just in case you test positive, because within 72 hours of arriving back to Canada, you need a PCR test. That's different than the antigen test. So just get the insurance. There's a lot of different ways to get insurance. I know even another friend of mine, her son is in Mexico and PV with COVID, and it's a little bit different because they were teenagers, but they only have it for X amount of dollars per day. So just really look into what does your insurance cover? Is it full 100%? Is there a limitation to what it covers per day? If it's a limitation, you might want to top it up. And as well, I'm a believer in all things that could potentially, I'm learning, like I did the ivermectin, I had doxycycline just in case, because I was in quarantine, just in case things go bad. So you want to just prepare yourself. In this case, once I had COVID, like you got to remember, I had the entire scientific advisory board doctors there with me. I had Tracy Gibbs, our formulator, there. I was in very good hands, and I had so much insight. So I was not fearing. But what I know is make sure you, before you even leave, if you're going, get your zinc, get your quercetin, do all the things. Make sure you're taking your supplements. Don't stop taking your supplements when you're down there having a good time. You have to take them every single day. Keep that immune system strong. Drink your water, and just double, triple, quadruple check what type of insurance you have, because I wouldn't be sitting here this happy and chill if I didn't have the insurance. So I thank Viseo for making sure that we all had that.
Oh, yeah. And that's huge because most Canadians, we flee to Mexico for an all-inclusive holiday. And guess what, my friends? All-inclusives, if you were to pay per night, they are easily between $200 and $500 per night with the all-inclusive package. So that's amazing. I'm so happy that you were able to come on the show today and share your real life experience that happened within the last, 2-3 days, because a lot of people are wondering about what happens if I test positive down there. There's actually a lot of fear around like not being able to get back into Canada, being stuck down there. And so I just thank you for coming and sharing.
And just know, if you get the insurance, you had an all-inclusive resort, the hospitality is amazing. Don't fear it. Like, you're going to get room service. They're going to bring you your food. You're going to get taken care of. You might not get housekeeping and stuff, but it's just time to reflect. Take an extra book, enjoy the sun, and just still go on your vacations. Honestly, go have fun and just be prepared that if you get COVID, you might not be able to return for 14 days. So have a backup plan for 14 days. I was lucky. The stuff I took myself, I was able to flip that PCR test. So
amazing. And guys, just to let you know, she was not there for the full 14 days. On day 5, she tested negative. And was it day 5 you departed back, or day 6?
Yeah, I got my first, because once you have a negative test, you have 72 hours to get out of there. And with all the crazy staffing shortages, I took it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Leanne, I thank you again. Have a blessed day. And you guys, if you have any comments, questions, please type them in the chat below, because we're here to answer any of your travel questions. Thanks, Leanne.
My pleasure. Have a great day, everybody.